But there have been some times where people just literally stop what they're doing and just mouths open.
I know,
like
they do the Home Alone, like the Home Alone. Remember that movie?
I love that movie.
Hey, it's Ashkin Yo here again. I'm back with another video.
Hi everyone, my name is Anne and I live here in Korea and I make videos about being black in Korea or just my life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make sure you all stay tuned if you're interested in hearing our experiences about being black women in Korea. Right, so let's talk about the stairs. So let's talk about that. Like, this is how it be, right?
For real. Like, I think there's levels to it. I think, honestly, for me personally, I didn't really get super freaked out by the stairs. Like, it didn't really bother me because even low-key sometimes in the States, like, I would get stared at.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't really live in like a heavily black dominated area.
Mm-hmm.
So even there I would get stares, or even when I would cross to Mexico or go to Juarez, like I've never seen black people, so they'll stare at me too. So I think I kind of got a little bit used to it before I got to Korea, so it wasn't that bad for me. But there have been some times where people just literally stop what they're doing and just mouths open.
I know,
like
they do the Home Alone, like the Home Alone. Remember that movie?
I love that movie.
How do you get annoyed? Like, how do you feel when you do get stared at?
I don't usually get annoyed because I do understand that, you know, they've never seen a black person before. The Korean society is so homogenous and everyone really wants to look a certain way. So, I mean, I get it, you know, they've maybe never seen a foreigner before. So, I personally don't, it does bother me, but I don't let it really bother me.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
For me, sometimes, I guess it depends on what mood I'm in.
Because
sometimes I'm like, yes, okay, stare, look at this, black queen, okay? And then some days I'm like, really, are you just gonna keep staring at me? And then some days I like smile and I'll like stare back. And then some days I'll like look at them and then I'll like wave or I'll like bow, annyeonghaseyo. And then they get like kind of startled a bit when I do acknowledge them or say hello, and then they like look away. I remember this one time I was on the bus and I was watching Netflix on my phone and I had my earphones in, and there was this like Korean guy sitting next to me. He kept staring at me and then he was like looking in my phone, like what I was watching. So I literally turned on the Korean subtitles, like, let's sit here and watch this Netflix together, okay? I turned it on and I noticed when I did, he kind of like looked away, like he like
either she can speak Korean or she knows I'm looking.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But yeah, the stairs sometimes it drives me nuts, the stairs. But then sometimes I do understand it is a homogenous country and they are not used to any black people. Like sometimes we're like the first black people that they've seen outside of
I have a boyfriend.
She taken, no, please. Don't DM me, you can't have her number.
No. Even like I've had not a lot, but quite a few people like message me on Instagram or comment on my videos like, are you gonna make dating in Korea videos? And I'm like, oh, I have a boyfriend. Like, I have a video with him. Like, I've mentioned I have a boyfriend before.
Yeah.
It's not happening, no.
Yes.
Sorry.
Do men in Korea approach you? Or do they try to flirt or get your number or take you out on dates or anything?
Take me out on dates? No. Please don't. I feel like they probably do, but I do wear a ring on my finger so that like they
I never noticed.
Really?
I've never noticed that you wear that ring.
Yes,
girl.
I've only started wearing the ring because it just fits on this finger. And I actually bought it in Japan. Like my boyfriend didn't buy it for me or anything. So it's just, I like the ring and it fits on this finger, so I wear it. But I noticed that the more I started wearing it, I got approached less by either Korean men or just men in general, and I really personally would rather them not approach me, so I keep it on this finger anyway. I don't want to assume that, you know, if a guy's approaching me, then that means he wants to date me, but I don't want any chances of anything. Like, if you're coming to me hoping to get something more, then yeah, I'm just gonna end it right there.
Right.
Like, it's not happening.
Right. Yeah. I have a boyfriend too back home, so yeah. I don't wear no ring on my I'm not like her.
No.
Maybe I should do that too.
I mean, I'm
gonna switch these rings. We'll put these rings on this finger.
It didn't really occur to me until I realized that I started getting less approaches from guys. That's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it there, because I never thought of, oh, let me wear it on this finger just to.
What do you do with your hair here?
So with my hair, I have natural hair, but I very rarely wear my hair out. I wear my hair out like just walking around or something, but if I'm going to school, usually I'll have a wig on or I'll have braids in. So I've had my hair with wigs, I've had it with braids, I've worn my natural hair out sometimes, and I feel like people stare at me the most when I have braids. Like, and actually, you know what? People stared equally with my natural hair and braids, but no one started touching my hair until I had braids. Like, my natural hair, no one ever touched my hair. And I have like a bit of an afro, so I was kind of surprised that no one like, you know, stuck their hands in my hair or anything. But once I got braids, I got all the questions, all the touches.
How did your school react? Your students and staff?
Everyone loved them, especially because the first braids that I got while I was here in Korea had color. So they were like, how'd you get the color like that? They were asking all these questions. Where'd you get it done? How much was it? How do you wash your hair? How do you sleep? Does it hurt? Like,
how do you sleep? I haven't gotten that one. I have gotten, how do you wash your hair? I do get that question. How do you react when people touch your hair, Koreans, when they touch your hair, or if they ask to touch your hair?
If I'm at school, I mean, most of my kids have learned, like, with their English class, like, the phrase, may I sit here? May I touch this? Yes, you may. No, you may not. So, like, I tell them, remember, may I touch this? May I touch your hair? So with them, at least I can, you know, tie in the lesson and they know to ask for permission. Or even if one of the kids doesn't ask, then the other kids will be like, hey, ask her first, you know? Which is really good. They're like checking on each other. Yeah. With other people outside of school, that one's harder because not everyone can speak English. And so, like, I think there was one time I walked into Home Plus and there was a lady selling makeup or something, and I was just looking at one of the eyeshadows and I was just gonna walk away. And I'd never met this lady before, and she just beelined into my hair. And like, originally I was gonna, you know, tell her, please don't touch. Like, I have, actually on my Papago, I have like certain phrases saved, like, please don't touch my hair, please don't take pictures of me, please delete that picture. Like, they're like bookmarks, so if I need to pull it up, I can show it to someone in Korean. With her, like, I could see that she wasn't doing it in a way to make fun of me or like in a rude way. And like, she was just curious, so, you know, I answered all her questions. And like, when it comes to that, I don't mind with touching, but if you're doing it in a just, you can just tell, then yeah, I'll just no.
Okay. So with me, I actually had a really short haircut when I first came to Korea, and it was just this short little haircut and, you know, really tiny itty bitty fro. And so none of my teachers, none of my students, none of them had questions or anything about my hair. And then came the braids, and they were so shook up when they saw me with my braids. I mean, you would have thought I was Beyonce or something walking through these streets. Honestly. Like, they were just so confused. And then, so those were cornrows that I got at first. And then the next hairstyle was the faux locks. When I got the faux locks, oh, all hell broke loose in the school. Like, all the teachers, principal, vice principal, the students, they were just like, and even people that I run into like daily, like the landlord at my apartment, or the staff at the convenience stores that I go into, or the grocery stores, they were all just so surprised at like the different hairstyles that I've worn. Like, and they would ask, like, how do you wash your hair? How much did it cost? Where did you get it done? Many of them were surprised that I didn't go to Itaewon to get it done, and that there's places to do it here in Daegu. So I actually ended up teaching my students about black hair. And I did definitely teach them about manners with asking to touch. And there have been times in school where they did just touch my hair without being asked, and I would like kind of pull away and tell them, please don't touch, or please ask first. One of the things I do struggle with is I honestly don't want anybody to touch my hair, like strangers or people that I don't know, like my students, my coworkers. I don't want anybody to touch my hair. So even when I taught them to ask first, well, the students, I taught them to ask first, and that we may say yes and we may say no when it's our decision. And so after I taught them that, a lot of them, they were very respectful and they would ask, but I did feel like kind of bad because they were like respecting my wishes and they would ask and I would still say no. So I would still say no, like they would ask and I would still say no.
And then they tried.
Yeah, and then but one girl, when she asked, and I don't know, I guess I was just in a mood where I was like, okay, like I'll say yes. So she asked to touch my hair. She was like, teacher, can I touch your hair? And so I said yes, and she touched my hair. And after she did that, I was wondering if she was gonna go like tell all her friends, because mind you, every other kid in the school who's asked to touch my hair, I've said no to. So I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't get around, and like I hope it doesn't become this thing where they're like, well, why did she let her touch her hair and she doesn't let all of us touch her hair? So sometimes it's a little bit stressful, even with figuring out like how to tell them like no, like please don't touch, because some coworkers have touched without asking as well, and so it gets into those like kind of like awkward moments where I don't want to be rude, but I also want to be authentic and true to myself when I don't want anybody like touching my hair. So I'm always wondering like, how can I explain this in the most respectful manner?
You know what? I don't think coworkers really touch my hair. The only people that have touched my hair, other than my students at work, are my co-teachers, and they usually ask me for permission first.
Yeah, and they're so touchy-feely, like in Korea in general. Sometimes like they're touching each other's like faces and they're holding hands a lot. But thank you all for watching our video. We hope that sharing our experiences can be helpful for you all, just to give you kind of a little taste of what it's like being Black women in Korea. And our experiences are just our own. It doesn't tell the stories of all the other Black women that are in Korea. We hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Share the video. Comment. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Head over to Anne's channel. It's called Hey It's Anne. And subscribe to her channel as well. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.